All right, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar on empowering business users with secure data access. In today's data-driven world, businesses are only as strong as the insights they uncover. But for many organizations, accessing and leveraging data can feel like an uphill battle, either too technical for business users or too risky without proper security measures in place. That's why today's session is all about striking the perfect balance, enabling business users to securely access the data they need when they need it and in the format they can easily understand and act on. We'll explore how to empower teams regardless of their technical background so they can confidently interact with data, generate insights, and drive smarter decisions, all while ensuring IT teams maintain the security and governance they require. By the end of today's session, you will learn practical ways to simplify data access and make your organization truly data empowered. All right, let's get started. My name is Greg Schmidt. I'm a senior solutions engineer here at Fortra. I bring over 24 years of comprehensive industry experience, specializing in a few key areas: document and forms automation, accounts payable and receivable automation, intelligent document capture, robotic process, and business intelligence. I also have over 2 decades worth of experience within Fortra, working with IBMI report and data distribution solutions. Throughout my career, I've been instrumental in helping companies automate their data and document processes, enabling them to streamline business workflows through strategic planning and cutting edge technology. My passion lies in guiding organizations towards best practices in implementation and solution expansion, maximizing the efficiency and impact of their automation strategies and solutions. Here's just a quick look at the agenda. I'm going to start out with, covering some of the common issues that we're hearing, our customers and prospects running into. And then I'll move into the main topic of how to put the power of your business data securely in the hands of your users. And then I'll be doing a quick overview of the SQL Business Intelligence, and then I'll be focusing in on the deployment options today. And if we do have time, I will be covering some of the other ways that we can bring or create new queries and even import other queries as well. And lastly, if we have enough time here, I will be doing some Q&A at the end. And if I don't have time for the Q&A, that'll still be fine from that standpoint. You can still enter your questions into the chat window, and if I do have time, like I said at the end, I will address them. We should have time here today, and then if not, if I don't get to all of them, I'll reach out afterwards as well. But do feel free to enter those questions in. This webinar is being recorded, and you'll receive a link to the recording afterwards, and that you can rewatch or share with anyone that could not attend today's session. Customers we work with face a variety of challenges when it comes to accessing their data. This slide summarizes the key obstacles we consistently hear about, categorizing them into these common themes. And the first one is too many queries. One of the most frequent issues is overwhelming number of queries that need to be managed. Teams are struggling with keeping track of these queries, which often leads to inefficiencies and frustrations. Query tool is limited. Compounding this issue is the limitations of their query tools make it hard to manage and analyze data efficiently. Legacy or basic tools often don't provide the flexibility or functionality that modern businesses need today. Too slow. Another significant hurdle is the speed or lack of, right? When it comes to retrieving data, this isn't just an inconvenience. It directly impacts decision-making and operational efficiency. Need access to other databases. Customers also emphasize they need a broader database solution, access solution. So siloed systems or restricted data or restricted database capabilities are common roadblocks that organizations are running into on trying to gain more of a view over their holistic data of their data, in those different kinds of systems. Not modernized. Many organizations admit their systems haven't kept pace with technology. The lack of modernization, creates inefficiencies and fails to meet current business needs. C-level demands. On the other hand, modernizing systems often come with increased pressure for C-level executives. The demand for strategic insights and real-time data is a growing challenge for data teams. Limited export options. Another pain point is limited options for exporting the data. Customers need greater flexibility in how they share and use their data, internally or across, different tools. And then we have, multiple steps to get to the end result. Even when exporting is possible, getting to the final actionable result often requires multiple manual steps. This complexity adds unnecessary friction to the process. Don't know SQL. One of the most surprising challenges, is that many users lack the technical knowledge to work with SQL or higher level languages. This knowledge gap makes data access daunting for non-technical users. Too much data. And so this is the last one here, but sheer volume of data can be overwhelming. We all get that in day-to-day operations. All the data that we get in a day is just amazing nowadays. Organizations are struggling to extract meaningful insights from their growing data pools. These challenges, highlight the critical need for solutions that are fast, user-friendly, and capable of connecting to diverse data sources while simplifying the overall process. At Fortra, we are committed to addressing these needs and empowering our customers with tools that make data access seamless and effective. Now let's talk about the benefits of using a solution like SQL BI for empowering data access. The first one is empowered employees. When users have secure and seamless access to the right data, they feel more confident in their job roles. Empowering employees are more engaged, innovative, and way more productive. Streamline collaboration. We enable, secure collaboration across departments with clearly defined access permissions. Teams can share insights without exposing sensitive information. Improve decision making. Real-time access to, accurate data leads to better informed decisions. With SQL BI, users can generate detailed reports, identify trends, and uncover opportunities, all with minimal IT intervention. Cost efficiency. By reducing dependency on IT for data access and reporting, SQL BI saves time and resources, allowing teams to focus on strategic initiatives. And then compliance, confidence. SQL BI, simplifies compliance with strict data protection regulations and others by ensuring secure access to live and historical information. Empowering business users with secure access to the right data is a crucial step towards building a data-driven organization. With business intelligence, businesses can achieve the perfect balance between user empowerment and data security. Solutions like SQL BI don't just give your team access, it ensures they have the right access every time. With advanced security features, user-friendly tools, and real-time insights, your business can unlock your full potential. And next is understanding business users' needs. I just want to cover this here. When we focus on understanding business users' needs, we address three critical aspects, identifying data requirements, analyzing user roles, and then tailoring access solutions. This approach ensures that data is not only accessible, but relevant and actionable, empowering teams across the organization. Let's look at these three categories, starting with identifying data requirements. Start by asking the fundamental questions. What does the business data, need, what does the business need to achieve with this goal, right? Collaborate with stakeholders to understand specific data types, formats, and sources where that data might come from. Evaluate how frequently the data is needed and whether it must be real time, periodic, or on demand. Access compliance and security requirements to ensure data integrity and regulatory alignment. Data is the foundation of effective decision making. Not all data has equal value. Focus on identifying mission critical data sets first. All right, now let's move on to the next category. Analyzing user roles. Define user roles to map how each team or individual interacts with data. Consider the difference in the data needs or operational staff, analysts, and executives. Right. Look at those three areas. Then assess the technical skills of the users to identify the level of complexity or simplicity required in the solution. Ensure access levels to promote efficiency while maintaining data security. And remember, every user has unique responsibilities, throughout this process. By aligning roles with tailored data access, you will be able to empower your users to be more effective with holding the security of your organization. And lastly, just quickly here, the tailored access solutions. Develop a solution that can deliver the right data to the right people at the right time. If that's through interactive capture or if that's through automation and scheduling. Leverage tools that allow flexible access, like I was just talking about, through, dashboards, reports, maybe a mobile friendly interface, or maybe it's, through Excel directly. Ensure solutions are scalable and adaptable for future business needs or changing roles, right? As things change. Maintain a strong focus on data security, but also empowering your users for secure data access. Access isn't just about availability. It's about a tailored solution will also help you drive the productivity, and making it easy for different roles. And we'll cover this a little bit later here in the demonstration, stuff like that, is just giving them different methods to be able to access it, securely and easily. All right, now let's move on to a little bit of an overview of the Fortra SQL BI solution and how it can help you with your data access needs and also your strategies today and in the future. With SQL Business Intelligence, we empower both IT and business users to securely access and deploy complex business data. Whether you're a data expert or someone that is looking to gain quick insights, SQL simplifies the process by ensuring actionable information is at your fingertips. It helps you turn raw data into decisions effortlessly. SQL Business Intelligence brings together robust data visualization tools to secure access protocols, making it the ideal solution for empowering business users. Here's how we address some of those key challenges, like intuitive user interface. SQL BI provides a user-friendly interface for, understanding and the design stage, right? That empowers technical and non-technical users to generate reports and insights without IT support. So maybe that might be a prompt or a predefined report kind of a thing, or something that's scheduled even at that point. By simplifying the process, employees can focus on what matters, analyzing and utilizing data for decision making. The next one is enhanced data security. At the collecting and discovering stage, you can connect to any Type 4 JDBC database. Use the core security by using the native IBMI security. And if you need to, SQL also has a more granular method with the advanced permission settings to ensure you have, a very secure and granular level of data integrity. Real-time data access. At the share and deploy stage, business users need data now, not later, right? That they're coming there to access data. SQL BI provides real-time access to critical insights, enabling users to react quickly to change and opportunities. Development can be done via this process as well, and then it can be deployed via the web browser interfaces for zero application footprint for deployment. So you can use dashboards and predefined reports, and you can also access via directly through Microsoft Excel with the Microsoft BI or Microsoft Excel BI plugin. You can also set up automation so to deliver data the way you want on a daily, monthly, weekly, or yearly basis if you want. With our SQL BI solution, we can help you bring the business together with the data and easily create data stories that the business and the users need to do their jobs, no matter what level of knowledge they have about databases or SQL. Organizations today manage vast and complex data access, variety of sources, from those databases. SQL Business Intelligence simplifies the complexity by offering a centralized query repository. So we have all of our objects in a central repository, so you can access via the web browser or through our Viewpoint application. But it makes it easier for users to be able to get to this information, but also makes it easier for the business to manage this information. And again, we can, with the flexibility, with the data connectivity flexibility, we can connect to, and like I was talking about earlier, is connect with any of the Type 4 JDBC compliant databases out there. So including the IBM IDB2, Oracle, it could be Microsoft SQL, it could be MySQL, it could be, in some cases, we have customers connecting to Excel as a data source. But there's many different ways, but being able to create a central repository for all that information. You'll see some of this in the demonstration here in just a minute as well. And here's the other side of things too, is the deployment options. We're going to focus in on this on the demonstration here. We're sort of going to go around this wheel here in the demonstration here shortly. But just the different areas that we can do, right? So the SQL web interface, zero footprint, being able to log in through a web browser and get direct access to data. And those might be dashboards, they might be just data sets that you might need to work with inside the browser and then export in Excel. We have runtime prompting, so we can actually cut down the amount of views you might need or queries you might need by building runtime prompts into them. And I'll show an example of that as well. Microsoft Excel plugins is another one, being able to directly access it through Excel and not have to go to any other interfaces. Dashboards can be a really nice way to be able to display a large amount of data across different data sources, but then also be able to either just view the data or interact with the data into different kinds of drill downs. And then scheduling automation is always a big one. So making sure that we can deliver the data back to individuals maybe on a predefined basis, scheduling if it's a daily report, monthly report, weekly report, or sometimes a departmental yearly report might need to be sent out. So there's different ways we can do that from a scheduling automation capability. And here's another big thing is accessing and analyzing data shouldn't depend on your technical expertise. Whether you're a SQL expert or a beginner or someone with no SQL skills at all, SQL Business Intelligence makes it easy for everyone to work with the data. It is designed to be an intuitive, flexible user interface, ensuring that no one is left behind. If you're highly skilled in SQL, we can provide you the interface for building that information through more of an SQL interface. We have that moderate to beginner level which is more of an interactive method to be able to drag and drop some your databases and stuff, your tables and stuff, and your fields and stuff in there for export. And we also have the capability with no SQL knowledge. So this is where IT can sort of set up some capabilities with what we call templates to be able to make it more template based. So you're not really worrying about the data behind the scenes or the database structure. You're just more worried about your field names and stuff like that you want to be able to pull out. But no matter your SQL expertise, if you're expert, moderate, or no, or none at all, right? SQL Business Intelligence meets you where you're at, right? And it ensures that everyone in your organization can securely access it and analyze and act on data with no barriers. All right, I'm going to just do a live demonstration. Again, I'm going to sort of go around the wheel a little bit, right? So I'm going to cover the SQL web interface. We're going to cover some runtime prompts. We're going to get into some of the Microsoft plugins, scheduling, and some of the dashboard functionality here. So we're going to cover a couple of those things here. So first of all, to cover the SQL web interface, so deployment options. Now, developing the different views and stuff like that is done with what we call our viewpoint designer. And we'll come back to this here in just a minute. But the viewpoint designer gives us the capability and you the capability to either limit or give access to the capability of designing the different kinds of objects within inside of SQL. But from an end user standpoint, one of the biggest areas that, or what I should say, the biggest interface that organizations like to use is what we call the web interface. So you can log in with your IBM credentials in this case. We do have another method too through our repository mode if you want to use Active Directory, or if you're on JDE or another system like that, we can use some of the authentication there. But in this case here, we're using the IBM authentication and IBM security. But this is going to allow you to be able to access different kinds of objects inside of here. It's really nice because it gives you the capability to be able to set up favorites or bookmarks. I can set up bookmarks, and I have different kinds of things I can execute on inside of here as well. So if I right click on any of these, I can actually save the results. I can download them to Excel from here. I can email the results. I can bookmark. I can do a whole bunch of different things here if I want to print it or anything like that. But maybe I just want to be able to see this information. So in this case here, I can see this information. And in this case here, this is available credit by sales rep, right? So I can actually see my different organization. This is a quick report that says, hey, I just need to see what the available credit limits are for my different companies I work with. So you can actually see that here, but this gives you that capability. Maybe I need to, save this result out. I can, again, like I was showing earlier, I can download this as Excel and, be able to do some notes and manipulation in here. But this is a good way to be able to get to the data quickly and view that data quickly from that standpoint. All right. Now, and you'll see it opens tabs too. So I can have multiple tabs open here as well during this process. Another one here, I just want to show this, is the capability to build prompts. So we do have prompts. So if I wanted to compare certain things, I could just select certain ones to compare. But in this case here, this is now where we can actually start to work with data a little bit differently. We can create graphs and charts, subtotals, all that good stuff. So maybe in this case here, I want to just take the data, and we could have built this into our view as well, but maybe I just want to take the data and create subtotals inside of here, right? And maybe this data doesn't really tell me that much. Maybe I want to see some some of the data story behind it, right? So now I can start to create graphs and charts with this and say, hey, maybe I want to create a line chart with this so I can actually see the ups and downs of the business and where the peaks and valleys are. So now I can start to use this to tell me some data stories. So this is very powerful to be able to use from the data view standpoint. So I can flip back and forth between the data view and the comparison data for a graph and chart. And some of these data views like this I can use inside of a dashboard as well. So we can do different things like that from the data standpoint. Now, We do have, different things that we can do inside of here is like, comparisons, calculations, math, kind of things like that. This is budget versus actual kind of stuff, right? By different income statement accounts, so GL account information. We can actually see that information here. So we have that capability there. The other thing, one of the other ones, I'll show one more here, then I'm going to move on here. But another one we can do too is having the capability to build multiple prompts. So this is where we can actually limit the number of queries we build in some cases to have different kinds of prompts. So I can say, if I want to have, drop down with something in there, I can have, different kinds of things that I could enter in there. Maybe it's a customer number that has a drop down information, but it gives you the capability to be able to select or just say, hey, give me all the information and pull it back. And then you can work with it and dive into it a little bit more from that standpoint. So this gives you that capability to, quickly dive in and pull that information back into the system again, and also export that or save the results out inside of here. Or if I want to reprompt information, so if I want to run another prompt and maybe get more granular now, I can hit the reprompt and prompt up again and get more information and more of a granular basis. So you do have that capability there as well. And then next, just quickly here, is Excel, right? Is being able to get, data sets inside of Excel and work with the data sets there. So being able to say, hey, maybe I want to run one of those views and I want to add a view inside of maybe Viewpoint. And this is nice because it gives you a couple different capabilities here. Give me a second here. Let me log in. All right. And let me set my password in again. All right. So now this allows me to enter information in. So if I want to go to my Greg Temp library in that case, right? Maybe I want to browse in my Greg Temp library and I want to pull back my AR information. So that way I can actually pull that information back and pull it into Excel. So this is going to allow me to be able to do those views. And another nice thing about Excel, when this is loading that information in, since I've built that query and I put it in here, if I save this file to my desktop, that query is now in here. So I can actually load a whole bunch of different queries and label them down here if I use them on a daily basis, and then open this up and then save and refresh that data whenever I need to. So that's a really nice thing about the Excel function. Really quickly, since we're running out of time, dashboards is another area. So we can actually create very simple dashboards inside of here, or more complex dashboards. These are more on the simple side. A more complex dashboard would be something like this, where I'm actually using multiple data sources to be able to display data to me in more of a visual aspect. But then we can actually click for information too. So if I want to pull open, information and populate like order reports or vendor lists or aging reports, I have action buttons or clickable interactions with this dashboard if I want to. So it gives you that capability to be able to interact there from that standpoint. And then last of all, for time purposes, I won't get into building queries today, but the capability around scheduling things. So if I wanted to schedule this AR report to go out all the time, we do have the capability inside of here to say, hey, I want to email that out on a regular basis, or I want to email that out through a to a certain group or something like that. But we do have the capability inside of here to be able to set up those schedules. And there's two different things that you can use inside of here. There's the robot schedule. If you're using our robot schedule, you can use the robot schedule to do this, or you can use the capability of the IBMI job scheduler. So you do have that capability inside of there as well. So you have two different options to be able to schedule and create during that process. We'll do that email results one. There we go. This gives you that capability to be able to schedule again, like I was talking about, being able to, so if you want to be able to send an email in a different format, you can do that, but then you can also schedule that either through a robot schedule or IBMI job scheduler. you do have both of those options. All right. So we sort of went around the list of here the web interfaces, runtime prompts, Excel plugins, dashboards, and some of the automation capabilities. Now we do have some questions here. I'll cover a couple of these because some of these are pretty straightforward ones. Some of the other ones I'll get back to you on as well. But the first one here is, where does SQL Business Intelligence run, right? And I know I'm not sure if I said this during the presentation, but it is a native product. It runs native on the IBMI and can connect to those different data sources out there. If it's DB2 or if it's a Windows database or cloud databases or anything like that. The next question is there any limit on how many queries or views we can design around our data? And the answer is no to that. There's no limit to how many objects you can create within inside of SQL BI. I always, like to make sure that we address can we build a query that is multiple use, right? So you don't have to manage all those queries now, right? So my goal is to how many queries I can cut down for you to have to manage. But no, there is no limit from that standpoint on how many dashboards or scripts or anything you can run. Does SQL Web Interface run native, or is the Windows and server needed? That does run native on the IBMI. So what I did show today was the SQL Web Interface that does run native on the IBMI on the Apache server. And I think I answered this question already, but can we use the IBMI security, or we already set up and use that with SQL BI? And the answer is yes. By default, we do use the IBMI security, but if you do need to get more granular, we do have SQL Advanced Security capability, so you can get more granular in your data access and field access and stuff like that. All right, there's still, like I said, there's still some great questions out there, but I'm not going to get to all of them right now. I will follow up with you after the webinar to get those answered. I just want to thank everyone for coming to today's presentation on how empowering business users with secure data access, right? And how you can start building the crucial steps to getting to more of a data-driven organization. And maybe that's with, Fortra SQL Business Intelligence or some of our other tools as well. But if you have any questions, on this topic, feel free to reach out to our SQL Business Intelligence sales team, and we'll be happy to schedule a free process consultation or a live one-on-one demonstration so you can sort of see that process, or if there's even a trial that you guys want to do, with your own data, feel free to reach out. Again, you'll receive a link to today's recording for this webinar, and you can share with anyone that was unable to attend, or if you want to rewatch for to get any references, you can do that as well. Thanks again, and have a great rest of your day and the rest of your week.